Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Good morning, everybody. Coffee? Avec Todd? Oui. Oh, oui, oui. Here we are. Good morning, Mark. 9 o'clock, Sunday morning. Coffee with Todd in the house. Ooh, ooh. In my house. This is my house.
And you're in their house.
And I'm in your house. Or on your phone. Or your laptop or your tablet. Or sometimes even on people's TVs. Yeah. We celebrate coffee in grand style here on Coffee with Todd. And I have not had a cup yet. So I'm going to have a cup yet. Right now. Oh man, we're splattering everywhere. All right. We have a really cool show for you this morning. Isn't that first sip of coffee just the best? Absolutely. All right, on the show this morning, we have a singer-songwriter from Colorado Springs, Colorado, Xanthe Alexis. Xanthe has been tearing it up lately on the Americana and folk charts, and she's going to be tearing it up here on Coffee with Todd this morning. So I'm so excited to introduce you all to her and to hang out with you for a little bit this morning on this beautiful, it's cold, right?
Yeah.
What's the temperature? I didn't even look.
When I looked earlier, it was 10, but I don't know what it is now.
On this beautiful 16-degree morning here in northern Vermont. 16 degrees.
That's balmy.
That's balmy. Man, we have been in this cold snap we're here in Vermont, we're getting January weather here in February. And I hope that means that spring is not going to wait till June to come around.
Yeah,
No? Danielle says, no way.
Right, Mother Nature.
No way, Mother Nature. All right. That's true, Paul. It is pretty normal for Vermont, but I like to pretend it's not. I like to pretend that spring should be here now. Morning, Dave. Lucy. Jeff, Mark, the gang's all pouring in, so pour yourself a cup of coffee and we'll get started. All right. Coffee with Todd begins in just a couple minutes. We got Xanthe Alexis on the show this morning, so brew yourself up a pot, grab yourself a cup of coffee. I'll be your Todd, and Coffee with Todd starts right now. Coffee time. Whoop, 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 whoop. David says good morning, better half. I assume he means you.
Good morning.
All right. I drank like half that cup of coffee during the intro. Oh my gosh.
We need a funnel.
Need a funnel. Yeah, I need an IV or a funnel or something this morning.
This is good.
Good morning, John. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a heck of a show this morning. Xanthe Alexis coming on the show from Colorado Springs to talk about her music and her inspirations and how much snow they have, I assume. I know they've got snow in Colorado. Absolutely. Let's sing a song first. So I'm going to go with an old traditional folk song. I think that it was made popular by the Weavers back in the day. The Weavers were a group that Pete Seeger was in. First group he was in before he went out as a solo artist, but then he played the song solo as well, and many people have covered it. I'm going to cover it as well to get everything started. I don't think I'm going to play harmonica today. I was thinking about playing harmonica, but I'm not going to. Or should I?
Up to you.
Well, that doesn't answer my question. No, it's up to you. It's right here.
Oh, I thought you had it.
Okay. We'll put the harmonica on. Oh, geez, I just barely get it over my hat. All right, we'll play the harmonica. If I'd been a rich man's son, pay me my money down. I'd sit on the river and watch it run. Pay me my money down. I said, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. I wish I was Jeff Bezos. Pay me my money down. I'd have money coming up to my elbows. Pay me my money down. I say, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Well, 40 days me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Seriously, pay me. I've got no.
That was subtle.
Oh, just kidding. I love that song. I don't know what it is. It's just something about that song. Good morning, Jody. Whoop, whoop. Good morning, Susan. Thank you. I love playing the harmonica, too. That song's a little weird to play the harmonica on because it's like punk rock. There's literally only 2 chords in that song. And it's hard to come back around and resolve it. But, hey, we did it. Yeah, speaking of paying me. Ha! Now, you certainly won't go to jail if you don't pay me. In fact, this is donation only, and it's not required. Now, every little bit helps. It helps keep the show on the air by helping me pay all the streaming fees that are associated with it. But if you don't have any extra money to kick in and support the show, that's fine. I've been there. Believe me, I've been there. But if you do, a couple extra bucks helps. If you want to get something for your donation, you can get a Coffee with Todd coffee mug. There's a link in the description. I think on Facebook it's above you, and on YouTube it's on below you, and on Twitter, who knows where the hell it is. But there's links. And of course, if you're really, really old school and you want a CD, there's those as well. Best CD ever. I'm a little biased. All right. PayPal me my money down. How did that work? Did that work? PayPal, 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 and support the show. Thank you very much. Something that rhymes would show. I'm not smart enough this morning. All right, let's get our guest on. Speaking of that little PayPal link, we're going to get rid of it real quick. Watch this. You want to see some magic? Huh? Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a donation for your magic trick.
Yeah. We weren't gonna chip in and support his music, but his magic, whoa. If a rabbit comes out of this hat later on, watch out. In fact, actually later on, I'll do a trick with the hat. I promise. Morning, Joanne. All right, y'all, let's get our guest on. Our guest comes from Colorado Springs. That's in Alabama, obviously. And
Mobile.
yeah, it's just outside of Mobile, Alabama. She's been stuck inside of Memphis with the Mobile Blues again in Colorado Springs. Yeah. Now it's in Colorado. She's going to think I'm an idiot. She hasn't even come on yet, and she's going to be like, why am I going on this dummy's show? Anyway, you guys are going to love her. She is a fantastic singer-songwriter. And she has her coffee, so let's get her on the show. Xanthe Alexis is her name. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, Todd. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and it's great to meet you.
Great to meet you, too. Yeah.
All the way from Colorado Springs?
Colorado Springs. Well, I live in Old Colorado City. There's a tiny bit of a distinction.
Okay.
It's pretty much just the Western Saloon part of Colorado Springs, but we are proud of ourselves. So
So is it like an old Wild West town, or how does that work?
it's totally exactly an old Wild West town. Yes.
Really? Cool.
Yes. Yeah. Across the street from my house is an old brothel. I mean, it's really special.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Is it
Mhm.
like a historic village, or how does?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. West side. It's the west side.
The west
It's the
side.
best side.
The west side is the best side. All right. Well, I see you have electricity, so it can't be too
uh,
Wild West out there.
yeah. Yeah. It's I feel grateful for electricity. I've been talking to some buddies that I'm really impressed. They're just making the most of it, you know. But yes, grateful for electricity because we've got a lot of snow too. We have about 8 inches here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's
Hmm.
what's a typical like? Are you near a ski resort, ski town, or is it?
I'm I'm near a large mountain, Pikes Peak. It's America's mountain. It's what uh, my country tis of thee was written on the peak, and you can see that peak right out my window. It's about a 3 mile drive
Oh
from
wow.
here. So, hmm,
That's
so I'm in
cool.
the mountains.
Wow. Well, we're kind of in the mountains too. It's funny because we talk to people all over the United States, and sometimes they say it's cold and it's like 50 degrees, and it's like
Yeah, right. I know you guys are the real deal up there. You're the real deal.
Yeah. Well, I would assume Colorado is too, but I guess we're
Do you
more.
know? Well, like it was really cold. So we are the Sunshine State, and we like we had 2 days of real gray, but now it's the sun is out. I just went outside in my t-shirt. It's beautiful, you
Oh
know?
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're the anti-sunshine state here in Vermont. I don't know if you've ever been to Vermont or not, but
I'm trying to think if I have. I think I might have been through. Sometimes it doesn't count when you're a traveling musician. If you've been there, it's a little,
right.
you know. So, but I'd love to go again. I will be, yeah, I'll be in that area whenever we're allowed to go. So
Cool. Yeah, I can help you set something up if you want to
I'd love that.
come
I'd love that.
come to Vermont
Yeah.
proper. Now we're like on the Canadian border. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. And I know, and I was in Montreal 2 years ago, and made some awesome Canadian friends, and so that's where I want to go, that way, you know.
Okay. We're not very far. Were you at Folk Alliance or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
missed I missed that year, and it's kind of a bummer because we're only about an hour and a half depending on traffic from Montreal.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't remember why I didn't go. And if I remember correctly, there was a massive snowstorm.
Huge.
Yeah.
My little walk to the train station to go to the conference every day, there was, you know, snowdrifts as high as me. It was really neat. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
I bet. Well,
Yeah.
because you're originally from Arizona, correct?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
quite different than
Yeah. I was just talking to a buddy yesterday. I usually fly west because Colorado has like a delayed winter. So we get like a sneak attack in February and March, and sometimes even into April. So I usually go to California, or so this is, you know, I think we're all just being very patient right now, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna ask you. That's actually one of the first questions I usually ask, but I guess I distracted myself. But like, how are you doing with not being on the road and
Yeah.
you know?
I struggle with it. Sometimes I do. I think a lot of us needed a break. I wish it wasn't this type of break, but I think a break in some ways has been really positive. It's opened up other avenues of creativity. But I've been on the road for over 10 years. And so it really is not something I'm familiar with, to be in one spot. And you get it in your system, where the system just kind of expects that cycle. And so yeah, and I miss everyone. I miss the venues. I miss my friends. I miss the other musicians. And I think we've been really brave and really creative, but I struggle with it. I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I I don't think I ever toured as much as you have, but we were, my girlfriend and I were talking the other day that like we haven't been anywhere but here for almost a year now, and
Right.
it's like, man, I miss traffic jams and yelling at
Yeah.
other cars and smelly public bathrooms and
Right. 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 You know, it, I think especially when the venues started really getting in trouble, I mean, there are circuits that we run that are so important to us, so I'm just really hopeful that that most of them last, and so we can get back out there, because won't it be fun? It's going to be the most fun ever when we go back out there.
I agree.
It's gonna be incredible,
Yeah.
so
I think it's going to be incredible. I think it's going to be, I think, I don't know if awkward's the right word, but I think there's going to be like this adjustment period for the audience and the performers where it's just going to feel a little strange being
yeah,
close together again.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
think that'll be
yeah,
short lived.
yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like we have tapped into all these different ways of connecting to one another. Like, one of my closest friends lives in England, and she's in Wales right at this very second. But um, we speak every day pretty much, because it's been so important to stay connected. I got some really awesome.
Yeah.
Do you see this light show going on?
Yeah, you got some cool rays going in there.
I might have to see about that. This house has a mind of its own. Is it let me see if I can adjust it.
Okay.
Sorry about my rays. Sorry about my light rays.
That's all right. You can let your light shine through.
I really try. I try so hard. We'll see. We'll see. I think it might just really want to be part of our time together.
That's okay.
I don't know. We're just gonna go with it for now.
Yeah, the sun will move. It'll move in a
It
little
will.
bit.
It will. I told you, Colorado sun.
Wow.
There we go. Maybe that might be a little better.
Yeah, that's a little better. It looks like there's a ring light there or something.
Sweet. Let me see. Maybe if I open the door, it might.
Okay.
No, that's.
Whoa.
We're just gonna have to wait.
That's all right. We need sunshine here in Vermont. So
There you go. Well,
even
here,
if it's
special
virtual.
delivery.
Yeah.
Special delivery from the Rocky Mountains.
Oh my God, that's so much fun. Well, I want to hear you sing, and then I've got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about. But let's hear you sing first.
Okay, I'd love that.
Yeah. Ah, and we're gonna talk about that guitar too.
This guitar likes to be talked about.
Okay. Okay, good. Good.
This one's called The Heart Needs Time. You say, honey, how you doing? I say, you don't really want to know. I'm still learning how to let you go. saying, girl, what's the matter? You look so sad. I just can't forget what we had. So don't feed me a silver lining. Just let me lay here in the dirt. I don't need a silver lining. My heart hasn't lost its spot. My heart hasn't lost its spot. Well, my friends say it's for the best. And my mama says I'm a diamond shining bright. Thank you. But I'm just can't see that light. When you're through with all your heart, and you're dead with all the blame, your heart is gonna feel the pain. So don't feed me a silver lining. Just let me lay here in the dirt. I don't need a silver lining. My heart hasn't lost its spark. My heart hasn't lost its spark. The heart feels what it feels. My heart needs time to heal.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's do another one.
Another one. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
As long as you keep playing that guitar.
I know, right? You're going to love the story behind this guitar.
I'm excited.
Okay. Let's see here. These are all off the offering. This one is called Sullen One. And I wrote it during a time where I was really involved in my practice at the clinic, and people, I just felt overwhelmed by the sadness around me, you know, and I wanted to write something kind of self-soothing, you know, but now that I sing it, it feels so much more universal, you know, because so many of us are being challenged by that right now. So yeah, Sullen One. Oh, sweet sullen well, bathed in my periphery, I spun around and round in the you would say you are me. We will learn to stay in the sound when the colors change and the light hits the ground. I will go it alone. I have wandered too far from my home for you. I will go it alone. I far from my home for you. Oh, sweet, so long out in the dark and into the sun, where your shadow can't hide. I have watched you with there and wanting with my own eyes. I'll go it alone. I have wandered too far from my home for you. I will go it alone. I have wandered too far from my home for you. Just went on a little journey there, of course. Oh, sweet, so long out in the dark. Come out in the dark. That one makes me cry.
That's a beautiful song.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
I try to do my homework before all these shows, so I read that. Well, you mentioned the clinic earlier, and so I read you're a trauma therapist as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that has a lot of influence on the way you write and what you write about. And
Yeah, it does. It does, because I have access to depth in people that I think maybe sometimes we don't reveal to others, you know? Mm-hmm. And I feel honored by that. And I think that I have insight into a commonality in suffering and recovery, you know, that needs to be shared, because I think that people feel so isolated when they're struggling, but there's so many that do, and that are bolstering every day, you know, to be strong, and so that's special to me, you know, to be able to have that that insight, you know. Yeah.
One of
have my coffee too.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
This whole show's about coffee and music. One of my
I got to tell you. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, one of my favorite things that I read, and I read a few different interviews with you, and you said that healing requires compassion for yourself and others, and I thought that's so cool, because especially during this weird time that we're going through, like, compassion seems to be the most important thing and almost the hardest to find sometimes.
Right. And I think that the playing field, or whatever you want to call it, has been really leveled, because we're going through such a similar experience with isolation and change of structure of our lives. And so I think honest conversations have been happening more and more often, which is a good thing, and something that we do need, you know, especially right now, you know. So
yeah, I absolutely. And of course, we're both artists, so that seems to come more naturally to us, I suppose. But
but even as artists, you know, I think even for us, like inviting people into our homes through video, there's been a whole wall taken down for us even too, where we are revealing sides of our work that don't always get seen. Everybody is just getting vulnerable, and
Yeah.
it's really nice. That's
Yeah,
an
it's
up
tough.
thing about this whole mess.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one of the things for me, and I don't know if this is the same for you, but it's one of the hardest things that I have with social media is I have a really hard time posting frequently,
Yeah,
because it just feels uh, foreign. Yeah, foreign is the word.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like something I would normally do, is like take a selfie of myself and put it out there, but I realize that that's how we're all connecting now, like not just the music,
right,
you know.
right,
That's why
right.
we change our fireplace pictures all the time.
I know, I know. And I think, for me, like, I just, I guess I've kind of dove right into the center of it, and I've learned, um, I've been fooling around with learning a little bit of video editing, and um, just to make little creative projects for myself, and trying to stretch a little bit, because I think that we I know for me, I do need connection. I do want to feel connected. And so yeah, we're stretching ourselves a little bit for sure, but I think there's always like, am I being extra? I mean,
Yeah.
I know that I can just pretty much count on the fact that I'm being extra. But yes, there's always that voice of like, but uh, we're all just kind of throwing it on the wall and seeing if it sticks. and
Yeah.
and I was even thinking about things like this, like you providing something for artists to come and share. It's so important, and we really have gotten creative. We really have. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
This has been, out of like the entire COVID experience, this has been the biggest blessing for me. And it was completely by accident. Like one day we had to go somewhere and I was like, oh, let's go online and have a cup of coffee on Sunday morning. And then it turned to this thing.
yeah,
And now I'm meeting all sorts of musicians throughout
yeah,
the the landscape, which is like, that would have never happened before. I would have just drank my
right,
coffee with my girlfriend on Sunday, and we would have either gone outside if it was nice or bitched about the snow if it was the rest of the year in Vermont. And that's it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's special. And it's all, because I released the record in August, and even, even the conversations I had when the record came out were so special, because we just have a different lens right now,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's like the Buddhist, like, beginner mind. We all kind of have this beginner mind, and it's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you mentioned that the new album is called The Offering, which
Yeah,
you actually wrote before the pandemic,
I did.
but it seems like it just kind of fit nicely in. Like it was like a missing puzzle piece that was just like, so
Yeah.
that's very cool. And it looks like it's doing well. Like you're exploding, is that the word? You're on
I don't
fire.
know.
I'm not real good with like hip
At
lingo.
my house.
What's that?
No. Um, I think it is doing well. I think that, so I finished the album, and then it was an entire year, um, where I was deciding how I was going to release it. And then um, I have a really amazing, compassionate, um, sweetheart of a team around me. And, I just called them all up one day, and I said, what if we just let her rip? What if we just did it? Because I knew the content of the music was meant for this time. I don't know how. I don't know how, but it was meant for this time, and I wanted people to have it, you know. And so we did. We just went for it. And really, when you release something, it doesn't matter how hard you work. You just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen, you know. But early on, I think in June, American Songwriter wrote about it. And I remember talking to Nick, who really works closely with me um, with this record. And we were both like, maybe we got something here, you know. And then it just kind of went bizarre from there, went bonkers. But it's been wonderful. It's
That's
been
amazing.
wonderful. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
such a cool honor. American Songwriter, KEXP, which
Yeah.
is very cool. I've
Yeah.
sent KEXP my last couple albums. I'm pretty sure they're in the trash bin out back.
No. No. You know, I think that for me, I always kept my life as a single, as a mom and as a therapist and as a musician, really compartmentalized. No blurred lines, for myself, for my own kind of mental health. And when I had this music, I really realized this is speaking directly to what's going on. And I felt like people will either get it or they'll think I'm weird, and maybe they'll do a little of both. So so it just really feels so special to me, that it is being heard. It feels incredibly special. Yeah.
Because it's a little bit of a departure from your previous album, right? It's less acoustic and more ethereal.
Yeah, well,
Is that a good
and
word?
that had a lot to do with working with Ian and Connor Borgal, who produced it. Um, it really was a collaboration between the three of us, and I just really we all know each other really, really well, um, um, and I just really trusted that they were hearing what I was hearing, and we just went for it. I think we just really tried to serve the songs, and what could possibly be there, and then see if we could make it happen. So yeah, that was pretty conscious to make that leap.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I read on social media, I believe it was a post that you posted on Valentine's Day, that you have a new album that you're working on.
Yeah.
Is it similar, or is there
Yeah.
another departure?
Mm. Is it similar? Um, Well, if you were to see our playlist, so we make these playlists of songs that are inspiring us before we go into the studio, and we've got like the Eurythmics on there. There's some Sade on there. I put Madonna on there, and the guys are like, I don't think so. But we I think that for me, like, it's not as much about a genre as it is about what is this song? Is this song, you know, does it feel R&B? Is this song, what is the song, And then we just kind of go from there. So I think these new songs this is a love album. This next album is a love album.
Okay.
I wanted to do that. I wanted to be challenged by looking at love in all its different forms, and it's just kind of what inspired me the last year and a half while I've been writing. And I think it'll be beautiful, but I'm sure it'll be really weird. But I think it will be beautiful. Yeah.
Weird because it's about love, or weird just because you don't
Yeah,
know?
love is so weird, Todd. Love is weird. Love is actually so weird.
Yeah, sure. You know, it's funny because I talk to so many artists and then people that talk to me about my own music and like never really seem to write love songs.
Me
Though,
either. That's
right.
why I did it.
But if you listen to the top 40 or something, it seems like every song's a love song, but love songs are really hard to write.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They're vulnerable. So I the guys have to deal with a lot of my mental chatter that nobody else hears. But I sent Connor a note the other day, and I was like, they thought that the offering is vulnerable, but this next project is like, dear diary. But and so that's why I knew that I hadn't really written any direct love songs, or very few.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. And and not all the songs on the album are, I mean, it's like self-love, and then, love for another, love for my children, so many different kinds of love, friendship love.
Right.
But it was purposeful because I wanted to challenge myself, for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, so when's it coming out, or is it really in its infancy?
No, it's just a sparkle in our eye, right?
Okay.
We made some demos. In January, and we'll get to work soon. But we're gonna take our time,
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your process for recording? Do you record at home, or do you go into a studio? Or?
We have a studio. Connor and Ian have a studio, and that's how we work. And they're literally, Ian is 5 blocks from me, so we just work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get on the horse and go down the old wild western street past the saloons. To the
Exactly.
studio.
Exactly. It's so true. If you saw it, it's so true. That's exactly what we do.
I need to see it. I need to get out there when all this COVID stuff lifts. I've
Yes.
never been to Colorado. I've heard it's beautiful.
No.
Never. No,
Never been to Colorado?
far west as Chicago, and that's about
Oh,
it. And then I've gone
oh,
super east all the way to France, but I've never
me too.
been. Yeah, it's beautiful. I noticed you've got Renoir in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, a
I
painting
actually,
of Renoir. You don't
this
actually
is,
have Renoir in your background.
you don't know. You
Oh,
don't
maybe.
know.
Oh, maybe.
There
That's
could have
true.
been a heist. That's not serious.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
I, I, yeah, I, I, you need to come to Colorado, Todd. Come
I'm
on.
I'm down.
You need to come to Colorado. You will be converted. This is a special place. This is a really special place. Yeah.
I would love to. Well, we'll get you out to Vermont to do some shows, and maybe I'll go out there
We'll
and
do trade skis.
yeah, I would love that.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um how what where like so I don't know Colorado well, but like what's
Hmm.
the nearest city?
Oh,
Like
well,
Denver, or is
Colorado
that
Springs is a city.
okay?
Um, Colorado Springs is definitely a city. Uh, Denver is an hour from here.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Mm, Yeah, so we're kind of I'm right in the center of Colorado. Yeah, Colorado is super special. You're gonna have to come check it out.
Okay. And
It's
what's
a
the
whole thing. It's a whole thing.
yeah, I mean, aren't there parts where you can like go skiing in the daytime and then like go to a pool in the nighttime and
Yeah,
because of the
yeah. We have
elevation?
hot springs. Um, you
Okay.
can meet some hippies
Cool.
that'll just love ya.
All right, I'm down.
It's it's special.
What's the
It's
music
special.
what's the music scene like, and is it
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, we had Nathaniel Ratcliffe come from here,
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay.
um, Esme Patterson, and uh, Inea Luhan, Joe Johnson, Grant Sabin. We have remarkable music here. We have remarkable music here, and we're tight. We really take care of each other and support each other, and keep each other uplifted. And a lot of us have known each other, since we were playing open mics, and it's pretty special. Really, a lot of incredible songwriters here. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm very excited. Now I really want
I
to.
know.
I didn't want to go
Now
before.
you're gonna have to just come hang out.
Okay. All right. So when's COVID over? Hey Siri. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, right? I know.
I think we're all getting to that antsy point, but
I know.
it's we'll get through it. And then yeah, I'd love to. Well, you said Nathaniel Ratcliffe, and you haven't met Danielle yet, but she's on the other side of the computer, and her eyes perked right up.
Hi, Danielle. Yeah, he was just on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
We were like, Colorado, go Colorado.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get away from music too much. I do have some other questions, but so let's stay on music. You were part of a Joni Mitchell cover album. That's cool.
Yes.
How did that come to be? That's really neat.
Well, Connor saw it somewhere and said, "Hey, we should do this." And so let's see, November we recorded it, and we did a really different take. All three of us really love Joni Mitchell. We're really huge fans. And I think that we didn't want to, because she is a living legend, we wanted to be really respectful, so we ended up just really doing like our own particular stamp, and but it was really special, and the compilation is beautiful. So many different artists on there that just really did really creative things with her songs, so yeah, that was special for me because she's definitely one of my, it's Joni Mitchell,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's kind of all you really need to say. It's Joni Mitchell.
Right.
Case
it's Joni
closed.
Mitchell.
Is Connor your producer? Right. Is that
Connor and Ian? Yes, Connor and Ian Borgeller, they're brothers, and they produce. They produced The Offering, and they'll produce this next project, Lover's Mark. Yeah. So I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, they're the glue.
That's great.
For sure.
That's so cool because producers are such an important part of an artist, sound, and I feel like they don't always get their due credit. So it's really cool that you're.
Well, I there's so much of them in this record. There really is, and it wouldn't have been what it is without them. So it is important. They are a very big piece of it. Yeah.
And I hope you don't mind, but I want to talk about your heritage a little bit because it's very unique and it's very cool.
Yeah.
So you have I hope that I say this correctly, but it's Ojibwe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
good.
Then Greek.
Very good.
Which is really
so that's my mother. My mother is those two things, and then my father is Polish and German. Yeah.
That's very cool. I was just reading because Danielle and I, we both have some Abenaki blood in us, which is a tribe that's more north southeastern, like Canada, really, because we live.
Yeah.
I joke that we live in southern Canada, um, and Danielle's much more than me. But then I was reading about the Ojibwe, and it said that they were big producers of maple syrup. And I said, well, that's pretty Vermont right there, because that's kind of like our main export is maple syrup and Bernie Sanders,
Right.
you know? And, it's like Vermont, we have maple syrup, Ben and Jerry's, Bernie Sanders. That's it.
Did you get in on the Bernie pictures? That was like the best day
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
The Burning Man.
Oh, yeah. We put him everywhere.
But yes. So they were they were also northern Lake Superior up into Canada, and they were traders. They really they actually and so she's actually, my grandmother's actually French, French Native American. So she
Okay.
my great grandfather was a French trader who a candle maker, who of course met my great grandmother, and so they were they are a fascinating tribe, truly. And yeah.
That's very cool. Is that something that you were connected with like all through your childhood, or is it something that you had
My
to learn about as you grew older?
my my grandmother married he's first generation. My great grandfather came here from Greece in the 1917, and in those times, really, we were raised as or my mother was raised as a Greek family, you know, and my grandmother really did not emerge into more of her culture until after my grandfather passed, when I was quite young. So it was a big part of my life. But for my mother, there was a bit of a disconnection because it just was the way things were done. Unfortunately, that erasure was quite common. And but I was very close to my grandmother, and she really did pass on a lot of the way of our culture, and I'm really grateful for that. So it is a big part. It is a big part. Yeah.
Does some of your music, come from that culture, or?
You know what? I think we just got kicked out. Are you there?
I'm here, yeah. You just kind of turned sideways.
Not. Oh, I see. That's weird. Let's
Whoa.
try again. There we go.
That was weird.
See, it's
The
whatever.
The internet, the
I
internet.
know.
Who knows?
I mean, isn't it a miracle? This is like some Star Trek stuff that we're even doing this, you know?
It kind of is. Yeah,
It really is.
I know,
It
right?
really
Like
is.
I'm just gonna talk to somebody in Colorado right now.
It's amazing. And see each other. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. But tell me again what you were saying.
I was wondering how much of the like indigenous culture transcribes over into your music, or if it's a subconscious thing, or if it's not at all.
Well, for me, it's a blending, because I was raised primarily by my mother. It's a blending of the mysticism of the Greek culture,
Yeah.
and the connectedness to community and earth, that is within the indigenous. And yes, it informs my music a lot, because it's the way that I look at the world. It's the way that I was taught to interact with the world. So absolutely, absolutely it influences deeply. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And your
Yeah.
your name
Yeah.
is like is a Greek mythology kind of, or
Yeah.
yeah, because it means
Yeah.
like, doesn't it
So
mean like yellow or yellow
yeah.
river or something? Like, I'm not real good at,
Yes.
I wasn't a good student, but
You're so sweet that you know this. So so Hera, Hera is one of the main goddesses, archetypes in Greek mythology. Um, and she's the one that's often pictured with the star above her head.
okay.
And Zeus made a cloud in her honor, a cloud nymph, a cloud fairy, and and her name is Xanthe. And so Xanthe is like a nymph of the rivers and of the clouds. Yeah,
Okay. Very
yeah,
cool.
and it
Yeah,
does mean yellow.
I knew it.
That's really good. That's really good.
where
Yeah,
where I actually got that from, because we just landed a rover on Mars,
yeah,
and there's a region on Mars that is named after you.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's a I guess it's not a I guess we don't know if there's water on Mars, or we think there is, but there used to be a mountain range and or stream on Mars that is called uh the Xanthe something that I can't think of right now.
yeah,
So that's actually why I know that it was yellow, because I recognized it from Mars, but then I
yeah. Yeah, my mom really named me well. She
yeah.
did a good job with that.
Yeah. That's super cool.
She did a really good job. Yeah,
So
yeah.
speaking of yellow, you've got a yellow guitar, and I have to always ask about guitars. This thing's gorgeous. I don't know what brand it is.
This is an Epiphone Wildcat. This guitar actually belongs to Ian. And he likes to remind me of that often. And this, I was given this to write on when we were working on the offering.
Yeah.
And I just kind of never gave it back. Sometimes when I bring it over to record, there's talk of having to return it, and I'm like, yeah, no,
No.
we're attached.
Yeah, I would keep it. It's got it's a hollow body, or it's a semi hollow body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a little bit of acoustic resonance to it, and then
Mm-hmm.
you got like those are like, you don't know the year of the guitar, do you?
I'm gonna get in trouble for this because I really should know it. I don't know it. I don't know it.
That's okay. It
We'll
looks
have
a
to
little
we'll
bit.
have
It
to
looks
ask Ian.
Yeah. I'm kind of a dork when it comes to guitars, so it looks a little bit older because of the
I'm
like
gonna
the pickup.
find out and
Okay.
I'm gonna find out and tell you. I
Okay.
do know that it is a sacred object
Yes.
amongst the collaborators for my music.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame that. I wouldn't give it back if I were you. Here's the deal. You're the one that's making it famous, so it should be yours.
um, I wish I could wield that kind of power. I'm just gonna stay grateful that I have it for now. It's in my possession for now.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. And I'm sure that he doesn't mind that you have it, because if he really did, he'd probably come get it back.
He could try.
He could try. Like, where did Xanthe go? She just moved. It's like nobody's there anymore.
That's what it would go. I know, and you, yeah, no. There's been talk of it needing to be returned, and I definitely, I just try to stay in good graces so that doesn't have to happen. I'm like, just a little longer, just a little longer.
Yeah. Till the next album's done. Until the next album's done.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I want to hear you sing one more song, but before that, you've started to tell me a story about your coffee mug, and since the
Oh yeah.
show's about having coffee in the morning,
Hmm.
let's.
So this is the mothership. Um, um, this is a artist residency that I'm a part of in Brooklyn, and incredibly special Soul, who is our captain, hosts just the most amazing artists from all over the world. And so it's a living space, and then we have a workspace, and we put on salons where the artists in residency feature their work, and it's right on the water in the warehouse district right there in Greenpoint, and it's just a really special place to me. It's like home away from home. So yeah, this is my
That's cool.
that's my sweet coffee mug. Yeah.
So is it like a collaborative, like a building where artists of all different
No,
mediums, or is it
no,
music?
it really is. It's for working artists. So
Okay.
everyone does kind of keep them to themselves. I mean, you make friendships, but it's a very, the artists that are there to work, you know. My friend Claire, who is a beautiful painter, she and I were both there together when I was there last February, and you know, she just kind of spent the day in her room painting, and you know, I would be, you know, doing my work that I do in New York, which is, you know, all sorts of stuff, playing shows and having meetings, and because my radio team is in New York City, and you know, and then we'd see each other at the kitchen table and, you know, share an avocado or like it, but it's very, very special place. Yeah.
That's cool. So do you like stay there when you're there? Like, is that where you sleep?
I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, that's where I live, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before, but
Isn't that neat?
yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to take a look because it's very special. There's not a lot of places of its kind left in New York. And so it's very, very special to me. Very special place. Yeah.
That's cool. And Brooklyn's fun
Yeah.
too. I haven't spent a lot of time in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn is its own thing. It's cool. It's got a
It's
slightly
horrible and nobody needs to go there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
bad. Don't go there. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
I'll tell a story to keep people away from Brooklyn. Ready? So I did 2 shows in New York City a few years back. One was in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, which everybody's familiar with. And then the other one was in Brooklyn. But the one in Brooklyn was at noon, and it was at a place called the Branded Saloon. And
Okay.
it was during the football playoffs. So I showed up at noon as they were unlocking the door for the day, and he's like, "I'm really sorry I'm late. We're going to have you play during brunch, but we need to set up the dining room for the football games later on." So they put me in the back, the very, very back, where there's a dance floor. But all the people that came in to eat brunch were in the front of the restaurant, separated by a hallway, and they piped my voice through to the other side. So I sang to an empty room, but people were listening to me in the other side. And so when I left, people were saying, "You sounded good," but nobody looked at me the whole time I was there. And then they were ready for football. So it was like, okay, bye. So
It's amazing what we have weathered, right?
It
It's
was the
amazing.
weirdest
I mean, I could tell you a million stories of ridiculous places I've played, but I actually really do love It's very much feels like home to me. It's like the mothership is walking distance from the Brooklyn Barge, and it's
Cool.
spectacular.
Oh
It's
man.
spectacular, and the people are lovely, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
let's do one more song before we wrap up for the morning.
Okay.
And you're gonna play that beautiful guitar, of course.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So I thought I would go ahead and play The Offering, the title track.
Cool.
It's gonna leave you hungry. Kisses just like medicine. There and then gone again. Take just what you need. It's gonna leave you standing. Come to the river to get clean. Here inside the offering. Tell me what you need. And world leave me lonely. I couldn't stay. The heavy weight of that hate. I've kept him guardian. 100-year-old little sea. Lush enough for you to feed. Counting my age. All of your transgressions. I bind at the gates of love. Super, super. Tell me what you need. And won't leave you lonely. I couldn't stay. The heavy weight of that hate. I could not stay. The heavy weight of that hate. It's gonna leave you hungry. Come to the river. Thanks.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was like being the only one to clap.
Hey man, at least there's one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, isn't it funny how weird it seemed to sing to a computer screen at first, and now it's just kind of normal ish.
It took me a minute. It did
Yeah.
take me a minute. I miss the audience a lot. I do.
Oh my.
I miss it a lot, you know, and but we are some scrappy human beings, us musicians, and we just do it, whatever it takes, you know.
Yeah.
So that's quite special. It's quite special.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I'm just like really feeling the love for the Wildcat. Yeah.
Great. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's so cool to meet you. I'm hoping that we get to meet in person one of these days. And
me too. Me too. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this ever since we set it up. I've been really looking forward to it. Yeah.
And we set it up a few weeks ago too, so
I know.
yeah.
I've just used it as my motivation to feel happy.
Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I was able to do that.
There you go.
Well, when you do come to the East Coast, you know, the majority of our audience is here on the East Coast. A lot of people in Connecticut, which won't be far from where you'll be in New York, and so we'll have to have you come back on. It'll be a good excuse.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah.
And the new album as well when that comes out. So
yeah, let's not even think about it though. It's all about the offering. The offering.
Right, because that's the current one. Yes, that's right. Is there anything that you wanted to bring up before we sign off? I don't know if there was anything that I missed.
I don't think so. I think that
cool.
I think we covered quite a bit, didn't we, Todd?
We did.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do too much because we want to have something to talk about next time.
We will totally have stuff to talk about. We will.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I could talk music all day, music and guitars and stuff, but unfortunately, my audience might not sit there all day, and we need to eat breakfast. So
that's true. That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Well, grab that cool coffee mug of yours, and we'll do a virtual cheers.
Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Wait, how do I do this? Okay. Cheers. Happy Sunday.
All right. Xanthe Alexis, everybody. And if you look in the comments below, I posted her website, so you can go check out all her stuff and show her some love. And thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee with Todd. I'll do one more song before I run away into the night. Let's get that donation link back up. Yeah, that was pretty good. I told you I'd do a magic trick because I'm a magician and I got my hat. Here's my magic trick. It's not really much of a magic trick, to be honest with you. So, as many of you know, our good friend and my sister from another Mr. Devaney is down at Dana-Farber right now, preparing for a bone marrow transplant on Thursday, I believe, is the day. And the Orleans Supervisory School Union did Streaking for Devaney, which I thought was something completely different than what it is. Turns out it's putting streaks in your hair the color of teal blue in support, because that teal blue is the color of the bone marrow transplant. And for those of you that have asked me if I'm going to do it or not, here's my magic trick. Look at this. Whoosh. It's like magic. All right. But I didn't do my hair today, so let's... Oh! Tricky hat. What? I'm full of magic. I'm full of magic. Ashe. Oh, man. That was so much fun talking with Xanthe. What a cool lady. And some really neat conversations about Colorado and the Ojibwe. Oh, no. Oop, catch it. Well, I'm going to make... We don't need no stinking napkins on Coffee with Todd.
No, you just got the rug.
Paul, that's amazing. Paul said that her last name is Alexis, and Paul said that every time I said her name, his Alexa would kick on. Ours is on the other side of the house in the kitchen, so I guess we got lucky. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Xanthe, that was such a blast. I can't wait to have you back on again sometime. And she says hugs to you, Danielle. So.
Thank you. Hugs to you too.
I'm going to sing one more song before we disappear into the morning and make our breakfast. This is normally when I would announce my guest for next week, but my guest for next week hasn't confirmed yet, so I don't want to say who it is and then have them not here. So most likely we will have a guest next week. If not, what's that?
It'll be tried and true you?
Yeah, if not, it'll be just tried and true me. I guess. There's a donation link down here if you're just tuning in. The donations help keep the show on the air. It pays the streaming costs and all of that stuff, because believe it or not, to stream to multiple platforms, it costs money. Everything costs money. Jeez. But you don't have, this show is free. You certainly don't have to donate if you're not in the position to do so. I completely get that. But if you can kip in an extra bucks. Whoa. If you can kick in an extra few bucks, it would help me out a whole bunch. So thank you. Thank you for watching every Sunday morning. How cool is this? Coffee with Todd has been on for, I'm going to have to look. We must have done 30 or 40 of these shows by now. I'll have to look and get the actual. Sometime this summer we'll be coming up on the 1-year anniversary. Let's do a Tom Waits song. I love Tom Waits. I love all of Tom Waits, but I really love early Tom Waits. So we're gonna do one from, I believe, his first album. I'm singing this song since time it was sung. I've been putting it off for a while, but it's harder by now, 'cause the truth is so clear that I cry when I'm seeing you smile. So goodbye, so long, the road calls me dear, and your tears cannot bind me anymore. And farewell to the girl with the sun in her eyes, and I'll kiss you and then I'll be gone. Well, every time that I try to tell you that we've lost the magic we had at the start, well, I weep my heart when I look in your eyes, and I search once again for the spark. So goodbye, so long, the road calls me dear, and your tears cannot bind me anymore. And farewell to the girl with the sun in her eyes, and I kiss you and then I'll be gone. I can see by your eyes it's time now to go, so I'll leave you to cry in the rain. Though I held my hand, the key to all joy, but honey, my heart was not born to be tamed. So goodbye, so long, the road calls me dear, and your tears cannot bind me anymore. And farewell to the girl with the sun in her eyes, and I'll kiss you and then I'll be gone. So goodbye, so long, the road calls me dear, and your tears cannot bind me anymore. And farewell to the girl with the sun in her eyes, and I kiss you and then I'll be gone. Tom waits. What is he waiting for? They say that Tom waits, but what's he waiting for? I have to I have to ask him that question. You think Tom Waits would come on this show? I doubt it, but how cool would that be? Oh my God. Maybe I'll work on that. Tom Waits has got to like coffee, right?
I would think so.
Or whiskey.
Coffee whiskey?
Coffee, whiskey, and cigarettes. Could you picture Tom Waits on the show? Hey! Jacob Green, Fedora Explorer. That's right. Jacob's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, everybody. He's got a new album coming out. I'm really excited to get him on. Thank you, Al. Marie, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Oh, it was such a fun show. I'm so glad everybody tuned in. So we're going to go make some breakfast now. We'll be back next week. Yeah, I'm not going to say who the guest that I have lined up is because it hasn't been confirmed yet. And I don't want to lie to you guys. So if it's confirmed throughout the week, I'll post it on all social media. And if not, we'll just show up and we'll have a good old coffee time. The old-fashioned way, just you and me. How it all started. Those shows were like 20 minutes long. I just came on and drank a cup of coffee and sang like 2 songs. And now we've turned it into a full-blown production. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. Huh? So thank you for being with me from the start all the way through. It means the world to me. I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday. Be safe, be well, as we say here at Coffee with Todd headquarters. And thanks to our guest, Xanthe, for joining us this morning. So much fun. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend. I love you, and take care. Cheers.